Happiness is a pursuit many of us chase, but it's one that often slips through our fingers just when we feel it's within our reach. We long for it like a treasure hidden in the vast wilderness, seeking it through achievements, possessions, and the approval of others. But some days, happiness feels like the morning sunlight, gentle, calm, and full of promise. Yet on other days, it seems buried beneath layers of responsibility, fears, and the relentless weight of expectations. We hustle and strive, believing that happiness is just one more success away, one more milestone, one more approval. Carl Jung, the profound Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, offers a far different perspective on this quest for happiness. For Jung, the essence of life's meaning was not rooted in external accomplishments or the pursuit of things we think we need, but in the deep and often difficult exploration of the self. He wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are," and this encapsulates the very foundation of his philosophy on happiness and fulfillment. In contrast to the modern obsession with external markers of success, Jung's approach was about understanding the inner workings of the mind and soul. He believed happiness and fulfillment could be cultivated not through chasing external rewards, but through the journey of integrating the many aspects of ourselves, both the light and dark parts. He argued that true happiness comes from knowing and accepting all of who you are, not just the parts that society deems acceptable or admirable. Jung's wisdom teaches us that happiness is not something to be hunted or found. It's something we build, moment by moment, through self-awareness, deep connections with others, and a sense of meaning that transcends the fleeting nature of material success. To live a fulfilling life, we need to focus not on adding to our lives, but on simplifying them, shedding what no longer serves us, and embracing the depth of experience, both the joy and the suffering, that makes us whole. Jung's ultimate philosophy is about transformation. It's not about trying to attain a state of perfect happiness, which is an unrealistic and ultimately exhausting goal. It's about self-realization and accepting the ebb and flow of life's complexities. So how can we live a life that aligns with Jung's deep insights? How do we navigate the emotional and psychological landscapes to create a life that is authentic, meaningful, and truly fulfilling? Let's explore this through the three fundamental pillars Jung believed are essential to living a happier life: clarity of mind, meaningful connections, and purposeful living. For Carl Jung, the mind is not a mere passive receiver of external stimuli, but an active force, shaping our experiences and our view of the world. He believed that the mind is a reflection of the unconscious, a place where our desires, fears, and unresolved conflicts reside. One of the core elements of Jungian philosophy is the process of individuation, which involves integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self. This process, he argued, is crucial to becoming whole, to finding true happiness. Happiness begins with a clear mind, one that is free from the clutter and distractions that so often overwhelm us. Jung described the mind as a complex system of energies, forces, and symbols. When we live in the chaos of mental fragmentation, where the mind is constantly pulled in different directions, it's easy to lose sight of our authentic selves and the peace that comes with understanding our inner landscape. Without clarity, we cannot act with intention, nor can we connect deeply with others or live with purpose. Jung also spoke about the shadow, the unconscious parts of ourselves that we often try to repress or ignore. These are the aspects of our psyche that we find uncomfortable, the traits we do not like to acknowledge. But these hidden parts of ourselves are just as important as the parts we show to the world. To achieve clarity of mind, we must be willing to confront these uncomfortable parts, embrace them, and integrate them into our whole being. This is not about perfection, it is about acceptance. The clarity Jung spoke of is not a mental state, free of challenges or inner conflicts. Rather, it is the ability to embrace those conflicts with awareness, understanding, and compassion for ourselves. We all have vices, flaws, and habits we know deep down we need to change. These are the things we're not proud of, the things we hide from others, or even from ourselves. They linger in the back of our minds, reminding us that we're not living up to our full potential. Every time we fall back into them, we experience that nagging sense of guilt, frustration, and disappointment. We feel stuck, trapped in a cycle of failure and self-doubt. The habits we know are unhealthy, unproductive, or damaging to our well-being, yet we can't seem to shake them. It feels as if these vices have become part of who we are, like we're chained to them, unable to move forward. We tell ourselves, this year will be different. The new year comes, and we feel this overwhelming surge of hope and determination. It's as if the turning of the calendar gives us permission to start fresh, to shed our old selves and emerge as the people we know we could be. We set resolutions, make plans, and create lists of goals that we're absolutely certain we'll achieve. This time, we think, we'll finally break those bad habits. We'll lose the weight, quit smoking, stop procrastinating, eliminate the distractions, and start investing in our future. We envision a new version of ourselves, more disciplined, more productive, more successful, and for a moment, it feels like we're on the cusp of something great. But then something happens. Life happens. The initial excitement wears off, and the challenges begin to creep in. The old habits reemerge. The temptation is strong. The stress builds. The excuses come flooding in. It's too hard. I'm too tired. I'll just take one more day off. And before long, we're right back where we started. The resolutions, the goals, the promises we made to ourselves have become distant memories, and we're left wondering how we got here again. In those moments, we often ask ourselves, why can't I change? Why is this so hard? We feel like failures, like we can't trust ourselves, like we're not capable of keeping our commitments. The frustration builds. The disappointment sets in. We start to think that maybe this is just who we are, that we're somehow fundamentally flawed, that change is something that happens to other people, not to us. But here's the thing, this struggle isn't unique to you. Every single person has faced it. We're all battling our own inner demons, our own bad habits, our own tendencies to procrastinate, to give in to instant gratification, to avoid discomfort. Even the people we admire, the ones who seem to have it all together, have gone through this same process. They've wrestled with their own vices, their own doubts, their own temptations. They've failed. They felt defeated. But they didn't let it stop them. They didn't let those moments of failure define them. They got back up. They kept going. And that's why they succeeded. They realized that change isn't about being perfect. It's about persistence. It's about continuing to move forward, even when things don't go as planned. The hard truth is that change is not easy. We often think of change as something that happens in a moment of inspiration or motivation, as if one decision or one event will be enough to transform our lives. But real, lasting change is a process. It requires effort, discipline, and patience. It's about consistently showing up day after day, even when it feels like nothing is changing. It's about doing the work when you don't feel like it, staying committed to your goals even when the path is difficult, and learning to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. The philosopher Seneca, known for his wisdom on self-discipline and overcoming adversity, once wrote, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." We spend so much time waiting for the perfect moment, for the right conditions, for the right mindset, that we end up losing the present moment. We delay our dreams, putting them off for a time when things are easier or when we feel more motivated. But the reality is that there will never be a perfect time to change. If we keep waiting for things to line up perfectly, we'll be waiting forever. The time to act is always now.